how to have the audacity to feel safe in a world addicted to suffering. So, yesterday we were having our Telegram day, and someone asked, Mina, how do you feel safe on social media? How do you feel safe on YouTube? Can you riff on this a little bit? And what was really interesting about this question is the night before this, I had filled up pages in my journal thinking through and contemplating safety and what a freaking illusion it is. So I grew up in a immigrant household where there were a lot of strangers coming in and out of our household because my parents were very generous and they would bring in people that needed a place to live. Because of that, I experienced a lot of childhood sexual abuse, and my environment just felt very unsafe growing up. And so as I was older, that got coded in me, and I was always on the hunt for safety. And what this led to as I was older was creating an environment that I could perfectly control at all times so that I could feel safe. But what was really interesting is that God had plans for me to get me to realize that safety wasn't something that I could control, that there was actually no such thing as a safe space. And let me prove this to you because this has been a lifelong journey for me. Now, before we continue, you might be wondering, Mina, why do we even care about this? Like, what does it matter, right? Like, why are we having this discussion? Because here's the truth, babe. You might not be realizing this right now, but you limit yourself, you limit your growth, you limit the environments, the net worth, the opportunities that are available to you because you do not feel safe everywhere. So, what if you have unconsciously felt like, okay, I'm good earning six figures, like six figures is safe, but anything beyond that, it's not safe because I can't control this. But you don't even realize that. And then you think you're blocked with money. Or what if you are not energetically allowing certain opportunities to come towards you because they exist in paradigms that you have not deemed safe yet? So anytime we expand our capacity in one area, it actually expands it in all areas. So what do I mean by that? I mean that if I expanded how safe I feel on YouTube, if I expanded beyond how safe I feel in paid containers, let's say this is a paid container that I joined and I don't like the way it's being run, and I run away because it's like, oh my God, I don't feel safe, versus I stay and I expand beyond the edge and I say, why don't I feel safe here? Like, what about this container feels unsafe? And can I allow myself to feel safe so I can get what I want, right? What I desire. Every time I do that, I'm arguing, I'm debating, I submit to you that it will expand your safety in your relationship, in what you get to receive from your partner. It will expand your capacity in money, in what kind of opportunities you say yes to. It expands the capacity of certainty and trust and surrender that you teach your children because you're not walking around saying, be careful, be careful, be careful, and coding that in for them where they walk around life being careful instead of feeling safe. So start to find those edges that already exist and move beyond them, and keep watching because towards the end, I'm going to give you some guided inner work so you can really look at this because this is your edge. This is where you energetically, unconsciously cap yourself. So I would create this like very safe space, which I would consider safe because I was able to control it. And then something would happen outside my control and it would just completely shake up my reality. And then that place that I had deemed safe would no longer feel safe. So then I would run, and then I would do the same thing as create another pocket of what seemed like safety until that place, whether it was a physical place or an energetic space, would get compromised, and then I would run again. And this kept happening and happening and happening in my life, and I still hadn't like woken up to the fact that what if there was no safe space, not in the way that I was thinking about it. So when I started my coaching business, and at first I was just doing one-to-one calls, but eventually I started doing group coaching calls, and I had created this amazing group container. And it was so fun for me to run this group program that even though I had promised 1 year, I think it went on for like 3 years until someone came into that container that did not feel safe. And all of a sudden, I found myself just ending the container. I was like, okay, we're done with this. No more of this. Bye. And I had to eventually wake up to this fact that there are no safe spaces. There's always this illusion of safety that I create in spaces. Another example. So, you guys know for like 8, 9 years, I have been live streaming most of my content on YouTube. I love live streaming. I love being able to connect to you live. I hardly have done recorded videos, most of mine have been live. Well, years ago, I remember just feeling like so safe in this little online community I've created on YouTube where people come and we interact live until I got a real live hater saying like nasty things. And then suddenly I didn't feel safe. And then I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I started this YouTube membership and I decided that I was going to go live there. And that felt safe for a while until someone was willing to pay to be a hater. And then suddenly that did not feel safe. So, what's the lesson here? What did I learn? That there is no place of safety, not in the way that we think. What if safety is something that we get to internally create? Now, there's two layers of this because as I shared with you, I did do the version where I had to like control like who can come in and out of this space, how it's going to run, right? And it felt safe until that got penetrated. But here's where the biggest transformation for me took place. When I decided that I am always safe, that I am internally safe because God is always looking out for me, that my safety does not come from control. It comes from God. It comes from the divine. It comes from the universe. And this changed everything because now I was forced to look at, okay, well, what are my energetic and physical boundaries? What are the things that I do stand for? What are the things that help create safe environments while also knowing that in every environment, someone's going to feel safe and someone's not going to feel safe? Because if that environment fits the psychological mold of what someone deems as safe, then it will work for them until it doesn't feel safe. And for someone else, that space won't feel safe because it doesn't fit their mold of control. So, what am I actually saying here? I'm saying you are in control. You get to decide that you belong everywhere and that you get to create a feeling of safety internally that then flows externally into your environment. So I stop saying things like, oh, this is a safe space. Is it? Under what conditions? When does it change? If someone uses a funny tone, is it not safe anymore? If someone looks at me funny, then suddenly it's definitely not safe? Or am I creating an internal place of safety? Do I feel safe inside of me? Do I feel safe inside of this world? I have another example that's coming through that's like really interesting. This happened recently. So you guys know in like 13 days we have our event in Miami and it's a sold out event. So this is not about like selling tickets or anything like that. It was supposed to happen in Dubai. Now, I freaking love Dubai. And honestly, I was saying to my husband that in any like city that I could think of, I feel the safest in Dubai, even safer than my own home. Like I live in Houston because of just the way the government is and the safety that you feel over there, until this situation that's currently unfolding happened, and UAE, Dubai, got bombed, and I had to move my event. And I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, because I'm over here sitting at home, and this place that I think of as like the ultimate safe city, the safest city. In fact, if you look it up, it gets voted as like the safest city every year, like number one in the world. It got bombed. And without even leaving my home or anything, all of a sudden, my feeling of safety in Dubai got completely shattered. I was shocked. And I said to my husband, I'm shocked because that's the one place like you could leave your $10,000 bag and like like open, go sit on a ride and come back, it's still sitting there. It's it to me, it was the safest place until it wasn't. And this is really important for you to recognize, because we all have these boundaries, these unconscious or conscious things that we say to ourselves that this is safe, this is a safe space, this isn't. And we've created these like rules. And this was so interesting for me, this Dubai experience, because there's people living there, and some of those people don't feel safe, and some feel safe because what's happening is still inside their personal like field of safety. So what I'm inviting you to do in this video is really think about, what are the places that you think are safe spaces, and what makes them safe for you? And then what has to happen for it not to feel safe? And are you willing to push the edges of that a little bit? Are you willing to push the boundaries of that? Because as a powerful woman, as a huntress woman, as an ambitious woman, as a wife, mother, 8-figure content creator, coach, mentor, I want my field of where I feel safe to be really large, to be really wide. I want to feel safe everywhere on this planet because of my faith in God. And that means exploring what is safe for me and what isn't. And can I push that a little bit? Can I expand that a little bit? Can I move beyond that a little bit? And so, going back to my containers, over the years, over a decade of doing this work, what I've realized is that I hold the safety field in that container. So, whatever I deem as safe will be safe. And so if I think that one person, standing out of line or kind of being aggressive or whatever the thing is, if that doesn't feel safe to me, it's not going to feel safe in that container. But that doesn't mean we all run away. That doesn't mean we shut down the container. It means we nip it at the bud. It means that we have the audacity to speak our truth, speak our boundaries, set the rules right of this is what we do and this is what we don't do in this container. So what does that look like in your family? What is that? What are your SOPs? You know how in corporate there's like standard operating systems for that company? It's called standard operating procedures for a company. I have what I call spiritual operating procedures. And so, what are those energetic spiritual systems, those like spiritual laws that you run your life by? What does that look like in your home? What does that look like in your business? What does that look like in your career? What does that look like with friends and family members? Right? Because if we don't really explore this on a deeper level, we're always going to think there's someone else creating a safe space or taking it away, right? This is a safe space. Why? Because this and this. Okay, what if that changes? Is it no longer a safe space? Yeah, now it's not a safe space. Okay, well, what if you change the rules of how safe you get to feel in different environments? Because this is something that plagues women. A man in a relationship, like you could be married to someone and he could feel totally safe until like he says or does one thing, and now you don't feel safe with him. But like our relationships and our environments cannot be that fickle. They need to be more robust than that, right? So really exploring, hey, what are those edges, right? And can you expand them a little bit? Like we can go so deep with this. Some people only feel safe in like toxic environments. We could also talk about that. They only feel safe in environments where they're being abused, while other people, they feel safe as long as they can completely control, and then the minute they lose a little bit of control, they don't feel safe. But I want to have like a deeper exploration of this. This is something I've been really contemplating in my own life, that how can I expand the field of safety where I get to feel safe, even if I don't have control in the moment? What if there are situations where I have zero control and all I can do in that moment is surrender to God holding the field of safety for me, anyways? And me being able to show up feeling as safe as I can and expanding beyond that, expanding the capacity to feel safe, which requires so much audacity. One thing that I realized about audacity is just another word for courage. That's what that is. And we're all exploring internally and externally our courage, our audacity to be courageous in this world. Where are you willing to push those boundaries of what courageous means for you, where you get to feel safe? So in the comments, tell me what makes you feel safe, and then how does that get shaken up? Okay, I was doing the editing and then I realized I wanted to give you guys some like actual guided inner work for this. So here are some journal prompts for you. I want you to sit in your journal and talk about, what does it mean to you when you say this is a safe space? Like, what the hell does that even mean? What is a safe space? And what needs to happen for you to consider that place safe? Whether it's your home or a container or a mentor or a friend or a public place, what needs to align perfectly for you to call that place safe? Second, what happens that is not safe? What in your mind, in your consciousness, makes a place unsafe? What are the rules of that for you? Third, if you have called a place safe, what needs to happen in that space for it to no longer feel safe? So what, like I gave you the example of, one person coming into my container and acting a fool, now it doesn't feel safe, versus just like being like, hey, we're not doing that, right? So what has to happen for that place to no longer feel safe? Fourth question, how can you expand your own field, your own consciousness, your own energetic field of safety? How can you go beyond the edge? What's the edge? So, for example, the first time where I was able to take control of a online, space, or my YouTube channel where a hater showed up, I felt like, okay, I went beyond my edge. I was able to move beyond that. And now in my consciousness, that doesn't register as unsafe. It's like, oh, okay, someone showed up. It's like, bye, bitch. Like it doesn't show up as like, oh my God, I'm feeling unsafe. It's like, bitches be gone, return to sender, energetic finger, fuck you, right? Like block. So what is that edge for you? And how can you move beyond that? And if you need more support in this, join me in Divinely Paid, which is a 2-day transmission where you walk away feeling really deeply rooted in your safety with God and being able to create your entire life experience from standing in your conviction and standing in your truth. We're also going to be taking a look at how to clearly and certainly be able to tell the difference between the voice of God within you, what we like to call intuition, versus fear and resistance. Because there's always going to be this illusion of safety, and then it might get shaken up. And then what are you going to do now? Like, are you going to spend your entire life running away because you can't control certain situations? Or are you going to expand your capacity of how much safety you get to feel regardless of what's happening around you? Because we get to exercise that as a muscle. Leave it in the comments and then watch this video next on living your life with so much audacity that it sets you free.